Today's video is sponsored by Black Gold Compost Company. I want to thank the good people over at Black Gold for the generous donation of all this beautiful black cow manure that we use in our video today, and it's made a tremendous success in our garden. I've been using black cow for many years, ever since 1980, and it's always made a tremendous difference in my garden, and I've been very pleased with our product. I highly recommend it. Thank you, Black Gold, for sponsoring our channel. Well, good morning, Homestead family. Today we're going to plant a pretty cool vegetable. I think you're going to really like it. It's called kohlrabi. Be right back after the break. Well, welcome back. I just wanted to go through a vegetable with you today that you may want to try in your fall garden. It's called kohlrabi. Very good tasting vegetable. You want to eat that root. It's a root plant and it has a beautiful root. You'll see the stem come up out of the ground, then the roots above the ground, a big old bulb, and then it'll have the tops. The tops are edible. If you want to saute those down and cook those, you can. But the root, the big old bulb that's on there, is what you really want. It's pretty good eating. A kohlrabi grows throughout the growing season in the far north. Down here where we live in Florida, our only chance to grow this is in the fall when the temperatures are cool, because this is a cool weather plant and they don't like high temperatures. So we're going to grow this year in the fall garden. I'm going to plant these in seeds in seed starting trays, because you can actually plant these by direct sow, but I'm going to start them in the seed starting trays because of my heat temperatures that I have to deal with down here in Florida. And once I get these seedlings up and hardened off and everything, we'll put some in the earth bed, and we'll also put some in some 3-gallon containers, because a lot of folks just don't have a lot of room in their yard for an earth bed, but they have room for containers. So we'll try the containers too. I got these seeds at johnnyseeds.com. If you want to check out that website, they got a lot of good selection of seeds that you may want to browse through and take a look and pick something out for your garden this year. Anyway, these are pretty cool. I've got 2 colors here. One's purple, one's green, and I got them started in the trays 3 days ago. They've already started to emerge. I don't know if you can see them, but if you look real close, you can see the tiny little seedlings starting to pop through. So that's very encouraging down here. So we got the seeds started. I'm going to get them over here in the seed starting rack and let them continue to mature over the period of 2-3 weeks here until I get them up, transplanting size, and then we'll put some out in the earth bed and some in containers, and we'll go through that process together. And we're going to continue to monitor the progression of these plants all the way from seeds all the way to the day we harvest them. So watch the video to the end, because there's plenty more to come. So let me get these seedlings over here in the seed starting rack and let them continue to grow, and we'll be back in a couple, 2 or 3 weeks to check on the progress of these together. We'll see you soon. Well, good morning. Our kohlrabi is really doing pretty good. It's only been 9 days since we planted these seeds together, and we've already got them germinated. They're up and running. There's some very, very small true leaves starting to appear now. They're still really living off the codlin leaves at this point, but the true leaves are fixing to come on. So we're going to give this about another week and a half to get them to grow, and we'll come back and take another look at them and then determine if it's ready to harden off. But right now they're looking really good. I'm had a very successful germination rate with them, so I'm very pleased with this. Our temperatures are starting to cool off now here in Florida, so this is going to be a great fall vegetable for us, and we're really looking forward to munching out on these things because they're quite tasty. So we'll be back in about a week or so. See you then. Well, good morning, friends. Our kohlrabi has been in the seed trays for 18 days today. And as you can see, they have got some full leaves on them, and I've been hardening them off out here for the last 3 days. And you can actually take a look up close here. You can see how the purple kohlrabi, you can already see the purple stems, and the leaves are pretty purple. It's looking pretty good. And if you take a look over at the green kohlrabi, well, I keep calling it green. It's actually white on the inside and green on the outside. So I guess you can call it green or white, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so anyway, this is the white, and as you can see, it's a much lighter color than the purple. Both trays are ready to go. Me and Nancy are gonna get out here and prep the garden bed, get the earth bed ready. We're gonna use fish as a fertilizer with some blood meal, so we want to push a lot of nitrogen through. This is a root vegetable, but I'm still using the nitrogen because I want to get some leaf foliage up there to get a lot of photosynthesis to get this stuff really rolling, rocking and rolling. The fish is going to give it all kind of nutrients, so between the fish and the blood meal, these things ought to do spectacular. So anyway, we're going to put these in the earth bed, and Nancy wants to go ahead and put a few of them in some 3-gallon buckets as well, just to show you, you know, that it can be done on your patio as well, because these are quite tasty. We don't want anyone to miss out on them. So let's head over to the earth bed, and let's get started on today's work, and get this beautiful kohlrabi off and running. Meet you at the earth bed. Okay, I got my first row ready. I'm going to be putting in 4 rows of kohlrabi, 2 purple and 2 of the white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant these on about 8 to 10 inch centers, kind of close. And I got my that's 8 to 10 inches on the row, and I got my rows 36 inches apart, simply because that's how I do all of them. You don't really need to be a full 36 inches. You can put these about 2 feet apart if you're doing this at home in your garden. So 8 to 10 inches on the row, about 24 inches between the rows ought to be just right. So let's get these holes in the ground and get the fish in, get the kohlrabi in, and we'll be off and running. Let's get rolling. Okay, we got in 4 rows, 2 of the purple and 2 of the white. So we'll watch the progression of these over the days ahead. So don't click off the video. It's seed to harvest, remember. So we got the earth bed set. I think let's head over here, back over to the seed starting area, and let's put a few of them in some 3-gallon containers for you folks who want to grow some on the patio. So meet you over yonder. Okay, I got my container mix mixed up, and I don't know if y'all have seen this or not, but we've got a video on our channel on how to make container mix at home, on just how I make this up. I make it myself, and it seems to work really good for me. You know, three equal parts of peat, black cow manure, and some potting soil. And then, you know, about add some perlite on top, because I want to keep my containers aerated, remember. So that's why I include the perlite. Okay, we got 12 containers. These are the 3-gallon containers. I got these at zenhydro.com. Now you can get containers anywhere. Greenhouse Megastore sells them. They're pretty readily available. But what I want you to see is I'm just using a 3-gallon, not a 5-gallon bucket. It's not going to take a whole lot to grow these kohlrabis. I want to fill my buckets up until I get about 3 inches from the top. Okay, we got the containers filled up 3 inches from the top. Next thing I want to do is add a handful, or about 3 tablespoons of bone meal into each one of these containers. Now remember, on bone meal is slow release, and it only takes about 90 days to grow kohlrabi. And when you put the bone meal in there, when I wet it down, it's only going to release about 10% of that phosphorus. Over a period of time, it'll take 3 to 4 months for it to gradually release into and incorporate with the soil. So keep that in mind when we need the phosphorus in our plant life. I try to use it on something that's going to take at least 90 days to grow. So that second thing there was, that second application there was blood meal, so I can get the nitrogen. Okay, the next thing I do is I want to soak these pots, so I flood them to where it's standing in water. I get about 2 inches of water in there, and then I let that soak down. That way it pre-moistens that container all the way to the bottom. So this will take about 15 minutes to soak down. So let me get these containers flooded and let them soak, and we'll be back in about 15 minutes. Okay, our pots are ready. Let me go ahead and put some dry container soil in here. And I fill it up to the top. Stick my hand in here and pull a hole from the center of my palm to the tip of my finger. That's how deep I want it. Then I take about a tablespoon of bone meal, put that in the hole. A tablespoonful of blood meal, put that in the hole. Take my transplant seedling, put it right down in there. I collapse the sides around it. Try to mash it down kind of tight. Get some of that air out of there. Put a little bit more soil in there that's dry. And there we go. That one's ready for the grow table. Let me get the rest of these in the pots and we'll get them over there and get them started. What a morning that's been, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, if they didn't taste so good, we wouldn't do it, would we?
That's good.
All right, we got all our kohlrabis planted. We got 4 rows out in the earth bed, and we got 12 in the containers here. And notice that these are only 3-gallon containers, so it doesn't take a whole lot of soil to grow these kohlrabis. So anyway, we'll be watching in the days ahead as all these plants get to progressing all the way up until we pick them up out of the ground and eat them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see you back here in a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, our 4 rows of kohlrabi have been out here for about 5 weeks in the earth bed, and they're really looking great. They got plenty of good foliage, and they're getting a lot of structure on the bottom, and they're starting to make that little root just above the ground level that we're looking for. So we'll be back in the days ahead, and we'll watch these as we get them on up till we harvest. And we got some over in the container garden that's looking terribly good, really good. And I thought we'd go over there and just take a look at them up close so you can see that little baby kohlrabi starting to develop. So let's go over to the container table and check that out. Well, our kohlrabi on the grow table in the 3-gallon containers is doing beautiful, and you can see that they're all looking very healthy, very strong. And if you look up real close, you could see where the stem has now grown above the soil level in the container, and you can see that little leaf node in there that is now forming above the soil level, that's developing that big old little turnip that we're looking for. And we'll be harvesting that. That's the part that we want to, grow. That's the part I'm looking for. So we'll keep our eye on these beautiful kohlrabi in the days ahead, and we'll be looking forward to harvesting these and getting them in the kitchen so Nancy can get them on the table. So we'll be back soon. Well, good morning, friends. Our kohlrabi's been in the earth garden for 6 weeks. From seed to now, it's been 6 weeks. And the purple kohlrabi is doing beautiful. They're a little bit slower growing than the white kohlrabi, or the green, whatever you want to call them. But they're doing what they're supposed to do. They're catching up. They got the little node on there now, and they're starting to develop that purple root that I'm looking for. And the green or the white are really coming on pretty fast now, and their root is, you know, about twice as big. So it's getting there. I'm really happy with them. I'm looking forward to plenty of good meals with this. And we put some in over in the container garden, remember? So I thought we'd just step over there and take a look at the kohlrabi that's growing in the 3-gallon buckets, just to show you their progress. Meet you over there. Well, here's our kohlrabi on the grow table in 3-gallon buckets. They're really doing good. I'm very happy with them. So come on up and take a close look. You can see that they've got some beautiful little roots forming just above the soil level, like in the earth garden. There really no difference in these and the ones that are in the earth garden. Their progress is basically about the same. So if you want to grow these on your patio, by all means, these are a good candidate for your container garden. But these little roots are developing quick now, so we're looking forward to the days ahead when we can come out here and harvest these, and we'll show you a couple ways to cook them. So we'll be back soon and continue to watch the progress of these beautiful kohlrabis. Well, good morning, friends. Today's pretty overcast. We just had a storm come through. It was Hurricane Ada. It was downgraded to a tropical storm once it hit the west coast of Florida, but it ran directly over our homestead yesterday, and the Lord protected us. The winds, you know, weren't that bad by the time it got to us, and the rain was actually kind of to the southeast of us and kind of went around us. We still got a lot of rain, but nothing like the poor folks down in Tampa and Miami and that area down there, but we got our share. But me and Nancy, we took our precautions. We did everything we could to secure the garden and the homestead, and it passed us by, and really no real damage to speak of. A little bit of minor tree work had to be done yesterday. We cleaned up some of that after the storm got on by, and we're back up and running. But today I wanted to show you our kohlrabi. They're actually they're 8 weeks old today, since the day that we planted the seed. And a lot of them are ready to go, especially, you know, the white ones. The purple ones, they tend to take a little longer to mature and get big. They grow a little bit slower than the white ones, but we can pull up a couple of them just so you can see what they look like. And we're gonna harvest a couple of these beautiful kohlrabis, and Nancy's gonna make them for supper tonight, so I'm looking forward to it. But these 4 rows in the earth bed are really looking good. The containers over there, I want to share that with you too, because a lot of folks can grow those in your containers on your balcony or your patio. You know, if you don't have enough space for a big garden, those little 3-gallon buckets are ideal, and we'll go look at that in a minute. But right now, let me grab up a couple of these purple ones just so you can see what they look like. These look great. As you can see, they have a beautiful purple root. That's the part you want. These tops are also edible. I don't particularly like the tops, so we're gonna feed the tops to the chickens, but they are edible. Some folks may like them. It depends on what your taste is, but check that out. But these are the purples. Take a good close look. See if the camera will focus on that. And we'll head over there to the container garden, and let's get a couple of the white ones, and you can tell the difference. There's quite a bit of difference in them, but they were planted at the same time. So I'll see you over there. Well, here we are over at the container garden, and these kohlrabis that were planted in these 3-gallon containers have done fantastic. I can tell you this, that there's no difference in the ones I put in the containers than the ones that are in the earth bed out there. So these are a great candidate for a patio, little container garden on your patio. These things are really magnificent in the plants in the pots. So I wanted you to come up here and take a close look at them and see how the root grows above the soil. There's a tap root that comes out the bottom. I just want to show you all that so you can see what to expect, and then we'll take them over to the harvest area and clean them up, and we'll show you how to prepare these for cooking. So come on up here. Okay, here's our beautiful plant. As you can see, this one's much larger than the purple ones, but see how it forms this beautiful little root off of the above the soil level. See the soil level right under here? Let's pull it up. Let me show you the tap root. There's the tap root coming down. See right here? And what I do is I go ahead and cut off that tap root. See how big that tap root is? Big old woody tap root. So we get that off, get that out of the way, and that leaves us, you know, the top. So let me get a couple of these and we'll head over to the harvest area and wash them up and peel them and show you what's next. So let me grab another one. Okay, got the tap root off. That leaves you the beautiful top that I'm looking for. This is the part I want. So let's head over yonder and clean these up, take a close-up look at this. All right, here we go. Welcome to the harvest area. I got all the kohlrabis over here and I've rinsed them off real good. And the next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut off all of these leaves. Now, remember what I talked about earlier is you can eat those. I just personally don't care for them. But they are edible. A lot of people like them. They like to saute them down. But what you do is, once I get all these off, that now is a nice treat for the chickens, but it leaves you with this beautiful root. Okay, now let me show you my little next step. Let me get the rest of these done, then we'll go to the next step. Okay, I got them all shucked, took off all the little leaves on them and got them down to the little root. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of difference in these two, the purple and the white. The purples, like I said earlier, grow much slower than the white ones, but really we're just growing the purple ones just for the fun of growing something with some pretty color in it, because the inside's all the same. But anyway, let's take a look at one of these and show you what I do. You notice on the bottom you have where the tap root was, and that area right here around that tap root is kind of tough. It's kind of woody, in fact. So what I do is I cut just above that and I get that off of there. Okay, and then up here on the top where the stems were coming out, I go ahead and I cut a little piece of that right on out of there. Now I got something that'll sit without rolling. See, it's just how I roll. Okay, other people might do it different. Then the next thing I do is I come to the edge here and I peel. I don't try to go all the way around. I go down to about the middle of the root best I can and get that skin off of there. And the skin is real tough. I get that off of there. It takes a little bit of work with these things, but the taste of them is fantastic, so it's worth the effort. And see, what I have left is a little bit on the top, so now I go around this way and do it the opposite way. And I'm sure some of you girls out there that are real good at cooking probably have a much better way of doing it. It's just, it's the way I do it. And I get rid of all these little pieces. Okay, now I have a peeled kohlrabi. And at this point, I cut it right down the middle. And I turn it on its side like this. just like I do when I'm making French fries. And I slice it pretty thin, right out about maybe 1/4 of an inch. And then I'll take some of these, 2 or 3 of them, and I go down there and chop them like I'm making French fries, see? Nancy does a lot better at this than I do. She makes them look like matchsticks. Mine tend to look like French fries from McDonald's. See, here's what I end up with. Hers are a lot better. Hers look like this. And of course, she's got more patience than I do. She trims them down real fine. That's how Nancy does it. See how she does? She gets them real fine, like matchsticks, compared to mine, you know. But anyway, you chop these down. Let me go ahead and get these done real quick here. I'm going to show you a purple one. Taproot end. Go ahead and take that taproot end right there, right off. That thing's pretty tough. Then take the top off. Remember what I was saying? The inside's the same as these, see? There's really no difference. It's the skin, and it's just for the color. Presentation. It's fun growing stuff with color out in the garden. I've always liked it, and I'm a real sucker for anything that's purple. I just love purple. It's like my favorite color. And Nancy's, of course, is red. She loves red stuff out there. Red and yellow, that's hers. So between the two of us, we get a rainbow in our garden all the time. But there you go. There's the purple peeled. And as you can see, there's no real difference on the 2 kohlrabis. They look exactly the same on the inside. Okay, and then I just go through that same process again, and I chop them up. Nice and thin. Take your time. I'm not exactly a chef. You see some of these guys on YouTube, boy, they can really chop stuff. I mean, I'm pretty impressed with their chopping skills. They can really roll through this kind of stuff. They're probably laughing at me right now, but I'm just a good old boy, and I'm doing good to get it cut. I'm not trying to cook for a restaurant. I'm just trying to do Nancy a favor by giving her a hand and helping her chop up some stuff. So bad as I do it, she has never complained when I help her. So let me go ahead and get the rest of these chopped up, and we'll take it to the next step. Okay, I got it all cut up. Got a nice bowl. I might want to also point out that just for future reference, if you want to make some of this for your family, I probably got way more than you really want to cook at one time. I always figure one of those per person is plenty. But I got 4 because I wanted to use some in our salad as well. And the reason is as you can see, this one's raw. They are delicious raw. I could eat a bowl of these just like they are, just raw. Tastes fantastic. Very sweet. Got a hint of cabbage and a hint of turnip all at the same time. Hard to describe that taste, but check it out. I think you'll like it. Anyway, I got this done. What I'll do with this is I'll take some out and have them sprinkled on top of our salad tonight, raw, you know, as part of our salad. And then I'll take the rest of them and I'll chop up one of our Texas sweet yellow onions, and I'll put some butter in a frying pan, put this onion in and put the kohlrabi in there and saute it together. And it's delicious, you know. And Nancy's gonna make a T-bone steak tonight, and I look forward to that because I don't get to eat T-bone steak very often. But when we do, it's good to have something like this to go along with it. So I got all the leaves pulled off. I'm gonna go feed those to the chickens because they love them. Oh, and another way you can cook this is you can steam it. You can boil it, or you can wrap it in tin foil with some butter and a little bit of onion and put it on the grill and cook it on the grill. There's all kinds of ways to cook it. Delicious. So anyway, let's take these to the kitchen to Miss Nancy, and let's take the leaves over to the chickens and make their day. See you over at the chicken yard. Got y'all a bucket full of kohlrabi. All right. Try not to fight over it, all right? There's plenty for everybody. It's so good to give these chickens some good and healthy green vegetable matter, because it makes those egg yolks so pretty. Their egg yolks are so orange and firm. Very healthy for them. In addition to their regular food, of course. But as you can see, they just love this stuff. So there we go. Today, everybody's a winner. Me and Nancy get some fantastic kohlrabi for supper, and with a T-bone steak and a nice salad, and the chickens, they enjoying what they getting too. And even Bing Bing, he's gonna get his little piece of steak tonight. Nancy always cooks him his own little piece of steak, so he's spoiled rotten and we know it. So anyway, that's it for today. I think this is a good vegetable that you may want to consider planting in your fall garden and enjoy it, especially if you've never had it before. It's really tasty, and I think you'll enjoy it. So we hope that our video brought a smile to your face and some joy to your heart today. And so until me and Nancy, Bing Bing, and all the little girls see you next time, always remember, by his hands we are fed. Give us, Lord, our daily bread. Amen.
Have a blessed day.